Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Navigator Business Solutions Customer Experience webinar. Today's webinar we're really excited to announce this. We have a strategic partnership with Alluvia. Some of you on the call may be familiar. They've been a long time SAP solution, working specifically in integrations to SAP. And so it's rounding out our offerings. So we are extremely excited about it. We've already engaged with them on several projects. So we've had a great experience in it, and we're excited to open it up to our entire customer base, and this is kind of the kickoff for that. So one quick housekeeping item: we put everybody on mute. Basically to cut down on background noise and the dreaded GoToWebinar echo. You will, however, have the ability to enter questions via the GoToWebinar chat, or I'm sorry, the questions field. So if you just click on that little pop-out that you should have on your screen, if you look down, it says audio, dashboard, polls, question chat. Just click on the questions one. You can enter your questions there, and at the end of the presentation, we'll do a little Q&A. So with that, I will turn it over to you, Gary.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name's Gary Lacombe. I'm with Alluvia, who, as Jack mentioned, is a strategic partner for Navigator. And I'm going to take you through a quick overview of Alluvia, but focusing on our e-commerce integrations. So with that, Navigator is a strategic partner to both Navigator and the customer himself. We offer integrations solely to the entire SAP portfolio, so no other brand other than SAP, focusing on Business One, ByDesign, and S/4HANA. And we were SAP implementation partners, but have chosen to focus solely on our integration tool. And that's all we do. And the value to the customer is that we know SAP inside and out. So when we integrate SAP, we know how it works, all the table structures, everything under the covers from the SAP standpoint, as well as from our tool set. We have a cloud-based integration solution, which provides rapid deployment, eliminating lengthy, costly development and testing cycles, because we're using templates pre-built for several applications, which I'll cover, which makes it easy to deploy. But not only do we focus on what we offer out of the box, but we're able to pretty much integrate anything into SAP. We use a quick time to value approach, utilizing drag and drop mapping, pre-built connectors, and as I mentioned, fast custom integrations as well. So we focus on several target areas. E-commerce is clearly our most popular, along with marketplace channels. We also offer CRM, logistics, procurement and spend management, banking, and other SAP solution integrations. Some of our, this is in an extensive, all-inclusive list, but an extensive list of our offerings. From an e-commerce side, you can see most of the popular e-commerce brands are listed here. From a marketplace, Amazon obviously is very popular, along with Walmart and eBay. And then we have integrations to CRM platforms, shipping platforms, and other SAP products like Concur and SAP Ariba. We also recently integrated and created templates for Expensify and Procurify. But today we're going to focus on our e-commerce integration flow and how we commonly integrate into e-commerce platforms. Now, this isn't the only approach, but it is the most common approach to integrating. But as I go through it, I'll explain a little bit more. So here we would have our e-commerce site. Here our SAP product, followed by our shipping solution. And in the middle with the arrows and the little emblem is the Alluvia platform that is passing the data and integrating the transactions between the systems. So as you all know, the most common scenario is an order's coming in through your web store. It's passed over through our platform, and we're creating transactions within SAP, and the transaction mix will change based on what you're using, whether it's a marketplace or Amazon fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by merchant or an e-commerce site. But in this instance, let's just take a standard e-commerce approach where an order comes in, it will create a sales order within SAP, a reserve invoice, and an incoming payment against that. The item will be shipped from your logistics, whether it's on-prem or 3PL. The shipping will occur, a delivery will be created within your shipping solution along with the tracking information, which we pass back into SAP, creating a delivery note, and then we pass that delivery note over to the e-commerce site so people can track their packages and be notified that they have been shipped. We also have the ability to synchronize inventory data, such as item quantities, item price lists, and other items. And that's based on your preferences, what we pass back and forth. And in some instances, instead of a B2C site, you're implementing a B2B site, in which case we would also manage your business partner or your vendor data and pass that over to your e-commerce site. So your B2B customers can transact. So some of the marketplace solutions we were speaking about, we're going to focus on Amazon because it is the most popular marketplace. We have Fulfilled by Amazon, which I'll cover first, which, as you know, is the customers are, Amazon is basically handling the whole transaction for you. Customer logs onto Amazon, buys the product, and if it's fulfilled by Amazon, then Amazon ships it out. And then they notify you with a single transaction, which is a paid invoice, basically, that that transaction has been processed and you can keep track of it and reduce inventory in your system. And Amazon doesn't do this for free, so they're charging you a tax for the goods sold, and then the Amazon fulfillment fees. And over here, I know it's getting a little technical, but what we're showing you is that we're capturing that data. So in this scenario, the subtotal is $23. The tax that it was charged was $219. The fulfillment fee was $3.42, and the commission is $3.45. So total fees come to $6.87. So when we push that information into SAP, you can see here's an AR invoice that was created based on the Amazon transaction. Here's $23 minus the freight or the fees, and leaving you with the total amount. So we're handling all of that in the transaction itself as we're capturing the data and pulling it into your system. The other approach that's common is fulfilled by a merchant. This is where Amazon sells the goods, yet you fulfill the order out of your warehouse. So this is very similar to your Shopify process, where an order comes in, Amazon takes the order, passes the order to you, you go ahead and fulfill the order, deliver the order, and tell Amazon that the goods have been shipped. So those are the two most common approaches. So now that we spoke about the process itself, I'm going to focus a little bit on our platform And this is the actual tool that we use. Excuse me. The tool that we use to integrate to the system. So in this example, I'm going to be integrating to a Shopify system. So I say what external system I'm attaching to, the type of transactions, credentials, everything goes in, and then we're going into our template wizard, where we're presented with field mapping screen. So we have the Alluvia fields and the external system fields on the right. And what we're doing is the template will come in pre-mapped, but you have the opportunity to map additional fields. So you have some custom fields which you want to pass data to and from. You can drag and drop those fields and link them together. And where you see gray fields, it means that we have created formulas to manipulate the data. And that's one of the great powers of the Alluvia platform, is that you can go in and say, okay, I'm getting this data from point A. I want to manipulate it in this fashion before I pass it to point B. And that could be through a formula, it could be concatenating fields, or it could be going out to an external table or an external system and grabbing data and coming back. So the possibilities for data manipulation between the two systems is pretty much unlimited. Once that has been completed and the mapping exercise is done, then we're scheduling the sequence of events, the order in which the integration is going to flow. So we're going to download orders, we're going to post them to SAP, we're going to create the delivery document and post the delivery document to SAP in this scenario. And along with that, we're tracking each transaction that flows through our system. And as an end user, you're getting access to this, the entire thing that I've just showed you. But this is the screen that you would be most interested in, which is giving you all the transactions as they're flowing through your system, along with the success, failure, or whether it's been posted or not posted as of yet. And if there is a problem with it, or you just want to see the details behind one of the rows, you can click on them and be presented with these screens, which will show you the data behind and the sequence of events that the data has gone through in its process. And if there is an error, you have the ability to go in here and just update the field. So we'll post, say, an item key is a new item key, and for whatever reason doesn't exist in one of the two systems, you could update the item key to the actual item key, or you can go to the system, create the item, come back here and say, try again. Put it to ready to post, and it will post into the system. So that's it on the e-commerce and our platform overview. That gives you kind of a conceptual idea of how it works, as well as our capabilities of integrating to not only e-commerce but other tools. But one of our newest offerings, which we've come out with, is our bank reconciliation module, which I just want to take a minute to show you because it's been very popular. And this gives you the ability to connect to most banks globally. And when I say most, it's 97% of the banks globally. So banks and credit cards. It allows you to import that information and then reconcile it right within SAP. And then in SAP itself, you have matching rules, and this follows those rules. So you can set up how you want the transactions to match, and our system will follow those rules as it tries to match the data. So here we're presented with our bank rec module. And as you can see, this is the same dashboard that I was speaking about earlier. You're going to connect to a new bank here and select the language and the country of the bank. Once complete, you'll be presented with the played interface where you select your bank and log into your bank account with your normal banking credentials. Once complete, it will show you the bank accounts associated with that login, and you'll say which account you want to link. It gives you the ability to change the name so it's meaningful. So if you have multiple Chase accounts, you can name them so you know which account you're speaking about. And once complete, you save it. And you can see now it's linked into the system. But now we have to go out and synchronize it into the Alluvia platform. And this is just part of the setup process. Once it's set up, you don't have to do this anymore, this step. Okay, and now you see here it is with the ready to post status. This is the actual statement itself, and I can drill into the statement and see the transactions on the statement, the line items. Now I can go ahead and change it. It was ready to post, now it's on posting. Now it's successfully posted. And then you go into your standard SAP product. You go to your bank statement, you select the account, and then you're presented with the statement itself. You can double click on it, and it will bring you to the details, which match what we saw earlier, which was the raw data from the bank. So here there's two same transactions, and if we flip back and drill into it, you'll notice that they match 800 and 500. Then you can go ahead and expand it to see the details and the invoice numbers, and you can see it's matched automatically. Now, if you can't find a match, you can go in and manually match it, which happens from time to time. But if everything's matched, post it, and the process is complete. So we're very excited about that product because it's something that was of great demand within our solution set and the SAP community as a whole. And with that, I'm going to open it up to questions.
Great, Gary. Thank you so much for that quick overview of the integrations powered by Alluvia. We do have a couple of questions. If anyone else has additional questions, please just pop them in the question box and I'll get them to Gary. So right off the bat, how many e-commerce sites can be integrated at one time?
So we can integrate unlimited amount of e-commerce sites. So some customers have 2 to 3 Shopify sites, let's say. They'll have an Amazon marketplace and perhaps some other integrations as well to external systems. And we can integrate all of those through a single instance of our platform.
Okay, so as many as the client needs to integrate can all be put through one place and streamline that. Awesome.
Exactly.
Yes, so I'll answer that one. Are demos with ByDesign available? Yes. I will let Jack follow up on that, and Jack and Kevin follow up on that, and get anyone that's interested in more of a deeper dive look into these integrations set up. So yes, demos with ByDesign as well as Business One will be made available for everyone. Can inventory levels and price lists be replicated, right? So pushed out to the websites.
Yes, so you have the option, and I touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but you have the option to create inventory within SAP and push it out to Shopify, as well as inventory levels and price lists. And you can have different items in each. If you have multiple Shopify sites, let's say, you can have different inventories or attach each site to a different warehouse. We give you unlimited flexibility on pricing, item keys, and what's held on each site.
And one quick follow-up on that is the delivery tracking information passed back to the web store once the order is processed?
Yes, so it comes from your shipping solution into SAP. We take the tracking information or any other additional information you would like to pass through. We capture that within the financial system, the ERP, and then we push it out to the source, in this case, Shopify, so the customer can view the tracking information and be notified of delivery.
And I have a question as well. Are there pre-made integrations to any HR systems at this time?
We don't have any, but as long as there is an integration model, API, we can integrate to that system.
Okay.
Navigator has firsthand experience with that.
Great. And that is all of the questions that we have that were collected during the presentation. Does anyone have any questions that they want answered now, drilled down to while we're on the webinar right now? I'll leave it open for just a couple minutes. If not, we'll definitely, Kevin and Jack will be reaching out to better connect with you all and better understand the client needs, integration opportunities, and solutions.
Yeah, and as we're waiting a minute or two, I just want to reiterate that even if it's something that you haven't seen or we haven't touched on, if there's any system that you're using today that needs integration, reach out to Navigator and they'll be able to work with us to help integrate that into your solution.
Great. So we have one quick one. Can the shipping part be used without an e-commerce part?
Yes, absolutely. So in many cases, if you it could be your own warehouse or a 3PL, but yes, we can integrate shipping, ERP and shipping solution. We don't need the e-com side. Everything's standalone integrations, but works together.
And then there was a question about, does it work with WooCommerce?
Yes, we do a lot of WooCommerce integrations. It's probably a close second, if not right there, with Shopify as our two top e-com solutions that we're integrating to on a daily basis.
Okay. And then, have you worked with any integrations using Boomi?
We have, but usually it's one or the other. Boomi is a complex solution, very robust and powerful integration tool. But based on the scenario, we could work with Boomi. Usually we would integrate directly to the system that Boomi is speaking to, but yes, we can work through.
Okay. Are there any other questions that are coming up? No? You're welcome for the answers on the questions. We just got to thank you. Thank you very much. If there's nothing else, right, we want to respect everybody's time. we wanted to give everyone a good overview of the integrations, the opportunities and possibilities. Again, as I mentioned before, Jack and Kevin, your account managers, will be reaching out to connect with you, better understand if there are integrations that we can work with you on to streamline your business. And with that, Gary, thank you so much for taking the time this morning for both our clients and Navigator.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. As